Hey, how you all going? It's Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with crank.com and with that metal station. And today I'm getting to have a chat with drummer, musician, Thomas Thunder, who's due to release his debut album, Pharaoh's Temple, in September. But he's just dropped a single, Crystal Illusion, which features Derek Sherinian from Sons of Apollo, ex-Dream Theater. It's got Ron Bumblefoot, Thal, Sons of Apollo, ex-GNR, of course, Tony Franklin from The Firm, and Jimmy Page. Cheers for joining me, mate.
Thanks.
No worries. There we go. Your net might be a bit funny, so we might have to jump. We'll see how we go. There we go. Thanks for joining me, mate. First off, Thomas, I want to ask, how did you originally get into playing drums? Where did this journey begin from?
All right, I started drum 5 years old. Started song when I was around 9 years old.
How did this originally begin? When did you get your first drum kit? Tell us about what drew you into playing drums.
Okay, so when I was around 3, 4 years old, I was just banging on tables and stuff like that. Like every kid does when that age. And my mom realized I had a knack for rhythm and drumming, so she set me up with some drum lessons.
Nice, that's pretty cool. So what was that like? That's pretty good having that support of mum getting behind you. I've heard a lot of stories about dad, and I occasionally have the ones where mum pops up and she's like, mum got me into this, you know what I mean? So that's really cool to hear it from the other side as well.
Yeah, but both parents are very supportive.
Yeah, they would have to be. So, what kind of music were you getting into originally when you first started playing drums back then? Like, what was around the home? What was mum and dad playing through your house that kind of inspired you? Because music is obviously, I know it was the same for me. It started originally with what my mum and dad were playing through the house. So, what kind of music inspired you?
Well, the first band I started listening to way back then was Metallica. That's what got me into drumming. I heard Sandman for the first time, and I just fell in love with drums back then.
Drums, yeah. So how quick did, because your drum playing is really on point, and it's a long
Thank you very
way
much.
ahead of most kids when they were first starting at 14. So I dare say you would have spent a lot of time practicing and playing drums at home when
Yes.
kids were out with doing sports. You would have been at home with the drums, yeah.
Yeah, I practice all the time, every day.
Yeah. So how did this partnership come up with these musicians? Tell us about this project and how did you meet Ron Bumblefoot and Derek and Tony, and how did this meeting how did these guys get on board your project?
Okay, Derek sent out a post on Instagram a couple years ago asking his followers, you know, so send some songs so we can play on them. And we sent Derek one of my songs, and he just fell in love. And he sent some of my songs to these professional musicians, meaning Tony and Bumblefoot, and it's been such an honor and such a privilege.
Yeah, it would have been like, you know what I mean? Some of these bands for you, it would also be really encouraging as a musician coming up to have these guys look at your talent and your drum playing, go, we got to get on board with this kid.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was such a shock too to hear about this.
Yeah, it would have been a shock, but well deserved because you put the hours and the work into it, and then to get rewarded with this, these musicians coming on, it would be quite encouraging. And then that would encourage you pushing forward, going with this album as well. What was it like making the album? Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about recording your debut album.
Okay, so every song on my album begins with GarageBand on my iPad. I write using a computer, and then I send it to professional musicians. But the whole thing starts with what I wrote, my ideas, and it begins on digi instruments, and then the musicians play my songs. And on two songs, I play bass and keys.
Wow, that must take a lot. Like for me, I know I had a look at that app, and my
Yeah,
kids have got it, and I try.
it took a couple years
It took a couple of years. Well, you would have.
to get the whole thing together, all the 9 songs.
Yeah, that would have taken quite a while there. As your bandwidth, just bear with me. Your bandwidth is a little low there. We'll keep on it though. So when it came to the actual recording process, how did that play out?
Okay, so I record my drum at a local studio, and they record their parts online and send them to me. Is it working?
Yeah, it's just coming through a little low. They send you through the parts, and then how does that go from there? Where who?
Yeah. And then we send it to the mixer, who's Ron Bumblefoot, Thal, who also plays guitar. And then he sends back the songs, and it goes from there. Another song.
Yeah, so how what was it like with the songwriting process for you sitting at home making all these tracks when you are doing these great proggy instrumental tracks? How do you lay them out and arrange them? Do you have in your mind a set way, or do you have a story behind the song? Tell us about your creative process.
Okay, so what usually happens is I have a melody or an idea in my head, and I go on the piano and I try to figure it out the idea I have in my head. And then once I figure it out, I go from there. I come up with a bunch of different melodies and riffs, and then I weave them together to form a song.
And how long is it taking you per song, do you reckon, to lay this out? Because it must be
Okay,
quite a
this is
passion for you.
yeah, it's such a passion, such a drive, and it takes me. It seriously ranges from a few days to 4 to 5 months to write a song.
Wow, so that's really encouraging. I love talking to musicians like you that are just so amazingly talented. As I was saying prior to the hitting record, I chatted to this 12-year-old or 13-year-old guitar prodigy now, and for me, it's really encouraging to see rock and metal being in good hands going forward. The next generation just who are going to lay it down, and for,
Yeah,
for for me, that is a really encouraging thing to see.
thanks.
And what kind of music what kind of bands are you getting into? Had you heard of like Sons of Apollo and things like that? Had you, checked out
Oh yeah.
Derek with Dreams? So it would have been really exciting for you to work with these guys then to come over, because I know Ron, he's been doing a lot of guest
Oh,
bits
it's
and jumping on albums.
amazing.
Yeah. It must be really, really amazing. And they'd be do they help like give you pointers and hints? Does it kind of helped you mentally going forward having those talented guys come in?
They've
Ron,
never given me any kind of hints or real about my work.
yeah.
Just play send they play
There we go. As we come back, yeah, that's really good that they just let you do what you want to do. Where's the best place people can get over and chuck in some pre-orders for this? Have you got a website or something people can head over and follow
yes,
your work?
I have Instagram page where I post video and photos and reels daily, and I have called thomas.com, and you can stream all of my new singles on Apple and Spotify.
Nice. And the album, the Pharaoh's Temple, Have you got anything special planned for it? Are you just gonna do anything online? Is there are you going to eventually play this on tour at the moment? Is it just a studio project? What's your plans for the future with this band, dude?
Okay, so a couple things. I'm gonna have hopefully a live stream this fall where I'm going to be performing a select few of the songs from my album, and um and going on. I have a single coming out on August 27th called The Pharaoh's Temple, and I have an album also called The Pharaoh's Temple coming out in September.
No, that's awesome. I look forward to what will come from this, Thomas Thunder. This has been an absolute privilege and honor to be chatting music with you, mate.
Okay.
Seriously, the track is so good, man. I really enjoyed listening to that, and I even jumped back and checked through all your back catalog as well. Such amazing work, and I really look forward to where this all goes for you, mate. You keep at it too. And thanks for joining me. Did you have any last words or shout outs or thank yous you'd like to add in there?
Um, Another thing I would like to add is we'll have a promo video coming out around my album time where and saying promoting the album.
Awesome. I look forward to it, Thomas. This has been an absolute privilege, mate. You take it easy, and I'll catch up with you, mate. Look forward to where it all goes.
All right. Thank you for having me. Have a great week.
Thanks, mate.